Hi, it's Aaron from KBB Supply Services. Welcome to the KBB podcast. In this episode, we're talking to Oliver from Cheshire Kitchen Fitters, and we're going to cover Oliver is fitting 2 kitchens a month and earning between 10 and 15 grand. He's debt-free, his missus is no longer working, and he's just booked his first family holiday abroad in 5 years. We're going to cover how he's got there, how he's used KBB Supply Services trade account to get there, how joining the KBB Academy has changed his life, and we're just going to discuss as well, like how fitters chasing labour-only work, doing that stuff, taking the jobs to trade counters is just madness, and how Oliver was doing just that 18 months ago, and in only 18 months, his life's completely changed. So let's jump in. Right, so thanks for coming on, Ollie. I think it'd be a really interesting conversation, obviously, for everyone in the community to listen to, and anyone thinking about joining the community especially. So tell us a bit about yourself, obviously background, where have you been your whole career as a kitchen fitter, and where did it start, and just talk us through that.
Yeah, so originally a joiner, so spent a lot of my years just doing general joinery stuff, mainly self-employed, subcontracting to bigger firms. Got fed up of just general being messed around as you do, so always
Who were you working for?
It was a company over in Macclesfield. They're really a small building company, but they had quite a few big projects on. So,
were you doing stuff for the big sheds as well?
Yeah, well, I started focusing more on kitchens. So, Magnet opened up a store near me. So, we ended up signing up and becoming their subcontracted fitters. I think I only lasted not even 12 months with them. Because
really?
they were a joke.
And what was the issues there?
Designs weren't correct. The kitchens didn't fit the space. You were finding you're having to redesign them. Missing parts. I didn't like their kitchens at all, really. It was almost like they're just buying components in, and they didn't even fit together and stuff like that. So you were a lot of head scratching. In between doing theirs,
like payments, stuff like that.
Oh, payments! Yeah, they were a nightmare. You didn't get paid till it was signed off. If the customer had a tiniest niggle, it was almost like the customers knew that you wouldn't get paid unless they signed it, and there was just loads of problems. And it was all caused by Magnet and by the staff there, really. But as a fitter, contracting to them, you don't get paid till it's finished.
No, and I think that's common in it for like a common frustration.
Yeah.
So go on. What happened after Magnet?
So after that, we decided to just focus on private customers. The usual ones. Got a kitchen coming from Wren, Howdens, this, that, and the other. Can you come and fit it? So we did that for a while. But I was finding you were having to do so many of them just to make it work financially. Again, that still had its problems. You weren't making. You'd be lucky if you made £200 commission on a Howdens kitchen. You're sending all your customers there, and they're just taking all the profit.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? Obviously, because it's like, obviously this is coming up quite a lot now that people find this normal, and I think some of the backlash that we get sometimes is that people. I don't know if it's because we're pointing it out, and people go, "Well, are you saying I'm stupid?" and and all the rest of it. And it's like, no, we're not trying to be offensive when we say that's not the way to run a business, but it just really isn't the way to run a business, is it? No, you're not self-employed if you're taking your works to other people, and you're practically, we're still working for someone, aren't you, at the end of the day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're defined by the workload that they have. If they go quiet, you go quiet. So, yeah, it's not sustainable.
But think about it for a minute. Where else do you find an industry where, like, if you've got a customer and you send your customer in to a different business to have their kitchen supplied by that business for you to just fit it, it's almost sadistic.
It is when you think about it like that. Yeah, it's like it's not right, is it really?
How do you think that that's happened? Like, how do you think that people have come? Like, because it is a masterstroke. I mean, you've got to give these trade counters, because it's not just Howdens. There's a few that operate like that, and some would say that we operate like that, but we don't. Do you know what I mean? We actually peg our prices low enough and teach our guys the knowledge to actually make the money themselves.
Yeah.
That's our model. We are not them. We're not charging their customers a fortune for a
No.
shit product and then expecting them to fit it just for wages. So when people say, "Well, you're no different," they just don't get it.
No, that's it.
Fortunately, you were one of the ones that, well, you are one of the ones that understands that it's different. So,
Definitely.
how do you think it works? Like when you're not doing that and you're starting to supply your own kitchen, how much more money do you make?
Oh, when you're supplying your own, it's a game changer. It's a life changer. Like I say, you were lucky to make 200 quid commission from Howden's, and now I'm making at least a minimum of 2.5K per kitchen sale just on the kitchen products. And then you can charge a markup on all the other components, appliances, worktops, flooring, tiling. Once you put everything that you teach us into practice, the money you can make is incredible, really.
Why do you think then that, because again, some of the backlash, we've had comments on social media, people going, "Well, you're just you're teaching people to rip people off," and it's no, it's not.
No, definitely not.
Our guys, our companies that we're promoting now, the people that we're helping, they're cheaper than cheaper than most people. Otherwise, they won't be winning the work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's not ripping people off. It's a better solution for the consumer because they're getting a personal service from a reputable local business that does all this fancy, the insurance backed warranty and all that type of stuff that we encourage people to do. It's a far better service, better product, and a better price. So how is it even close to that? I mean, these people are just like, oh, well, I think, again, we're coming back to that thing there. The industry's been this way for such a long time. There are some people that are blinkered and they can't understand that this is a new opportunity. So they sort of reject it mentally and go, oh, no, that's bollocks, that. And they find these reasons to sort of reject it. So why weren't you skeptical about it, and how did you sort of?
I think at the time, if I remember back to when I first come across you guys, I was looking for that, for what you were offering. I didn't realise at the time that what you were offering was as good as it was going to be. But I was looking for that change, for that something different. I'd got sick of being dictated to by the big sheds, by the other companies. I'd even tried local independent kitchen companies that have been around for donkey's years, thinking, they've been on the high street for 20 years, so they must do something right. Went fitting for them, and they're even worse. And I could just see the faults with not just with the way they were organising the installs, but the whole business aspect and business model. The complaints that you hear the customers talk about while you're there, and from what you see on a day-to-day while you're there doing the fitting things, it didn't sit right with me. And I was looking around thinking there's got to be a better way of controlling more myself. That's what I wanted. I wanted full control over every aspect of my own business. And I knew that I'd have to get to a point where I supplied my own stuff. And that's what you guys do. Not only do you help us supply that, but you actually teach us how to supply it, how to model our business, position ourselves in the market to provide, and not just an excellent fitting service, an excellent product, but more importantly, to convince the customer that we can offer a premium service, and point out the differences between us and the big sheds, to give them confidence in us as an independent small kitchen retailer, that we can deliver a far better result than the big sheds can, for, like you say, for usually cheaper than what it's going to cost them.
Yeah. I mean, it is like that bit about convincing the consumer, as we know now, is by far one of the biggest hurdles to overcome when you're a sole trader. And I think obviously you've since joined the academy, which we'll talk about in a minute, but having that website, the sales process, and all the things behind you make you look the real deal. Not look the real deal. It sounds like you're trying to fool people, but you are the real deal. The fitters, for me, are the real deal of the industry. They're the people that should be given this opportunity that have never had that opportunity before. You know, these are the guys that should be taking more money home to the family. These are the guys that should be, you know, proud of the service they offer. These are the guys that should be running a proper business that they've always wanted to run and getting the help and support from people that have actually been there and done it, you know,
Yeah.
and that's really, you know, what it's about. And when you put all those things in front of the consumer, they just see you for what you are. Now, without that help and support and training, like we all start off somewhere, and as tradespeople, the sales and convincing consumers that we are trustworthy enough, you know, to part with like a 10 grand deposit for a kitchen, for instance.
Yeah.
You know, for a customer to drop 10 grand in your bank and go, yeah, please start my job. Here's a 10 grand deposit, because that's quite a typical deposit, really, when you think about it.
On average, yeah.
You know, so, but when you don't have any presence and you're just a sole trader and you're not doing the stuff, obviously, that we teach, it's very difficult to get out of fitting other people's kitchens, isn't it?
Yeah, and that is the key element right there. You've got to show your customers and future customers that you're not just going to run off with their money, you know, and that you are responsible enough to take that deposit. I mean, before I got you guys, for a customer to drop 10, 15 grand into my bank before I've even started was unthinkable. You know, yeah, we used to take a couple hundred quid up to a grand or so, but you know, the things we put in place, the Which Trusted Trader, that's massive, big deal. And the insurance-backed warranties, you know, the in-house warranties that we offer as well, all combined together with the website, the sales process, your presence on social media, it all knits together to now that I don't even get, my customers don't even question anything about it. You know, it's they can clearly see that we offer a much better service in protecting them than any of the big sheds do.
Yeah. So just on that, obviously that's sort of where you are today, but where were you when you first signed up with us? What was the situation then? And sort of talk us through that whole...
So then we were still doing private kitchen installs for people. That was our main source of income. And then what I try and do at the time, I got a couple of the brochures, things like that. And we just started asking people, you know, would you like us to give you a quote for your kitchen? And then some of them said, yeah, go for it. That'd be great. So with the help of Lee and yourself, we, you know, even before we had the website and everything like that, we'd be able to do a rough idea of a layout plan, send it in. You come back with the 3D designs and the prices. Even taught me how to send that quote over and how to present that quote. Because previous to that, we were just sending, you know, quotes via email and not wondering why most of them wouldn't accept and things like that. You know.
And what's it meant for you personally? Like, how's it helped you personally in your business and just the whole...
Yeah, completely different. It's like I don't recognise the old me anymore.
Really?
Yeah, the stuff I have learned from you guys it's incredible. You know, in such a short space of time as well. And the academy is gold dust. You know, without that, I don't know where it'd be. To be fair, because it's not just about selling your kitchen. It's not just about presenting yourself to the customer. It's about actually running your business. You know, the internals, the behind the scenes, things like that. The amount of help and support that I've had, and the amount of stuff that I've learned. Just to make you more efficient. You know, make sure you're earning your profit. Make sure you're putting a good margin on. You know, make sure you know the difference between markup and margin, which I didn't know before I came to you guys. I used to, you know, I've added 20% to that. And then, you know, sit there and wonder why we're not making money.
Well, yeah, I mean, the old tradesman line, oh yeah, stick 20% on. They might as well say I'm hanging myself. Do you know what I mean? Because that's basically what you're doing. You know, a 20% markup is a 16% margin. Yeah. Nobody can grow a business and very few can survive on that, such a low margin. No. And people don't get that until we go, fucking hell, that's where I've been going wrong. So some of the biggest places they've been going wrong are wrong markup, too low, which they think because they're busy that they're successful.
Yeah.
No, everyone goes. Tradespeople have a yardstick badge of honour that if they're dead busy, they're successful. and it's just not true.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Being busy doesn't mean you're successful. Busy fools are that's usually what that is. You know, being more in control of your business, doing less work for more money, providing a higher quality service. You can't provide a high quality service if you're running around like a blue ass fly.
Definitely not. No. Like I say, we were doing, you know, some months previous to this, I had a couple of guys working with me, and our target was 8 installs a month, you know, and it was killing us, just running around ragged. And now we do 2 a month, and we make tenfold what we were making back then. Yeah. We're just doing two kitchens a month.
Yeah, and that's sort of the milestone that we try to get everyone to, is that 2 a month. And what would you say you're making on that 2?
Our average project is 20k, and we're making making at least 10k a month profit, at least. Some months up to 15.
Yeah,
just depends on the spec and details of each individual job. But
so average order value 20k. So you say you're bagging 2 of them a month. So that's getting on for £500,000 turnover. Yeah. With 10 to 15k a month profit. How does that compare to 18 months ago when you were not involved with KBB Supply Services?
Well, I was close to going bust. I was constantly robbing Peter to pay Paul. You know, bills weren't being paid because it just wasn't working. And one of the biggest problems was you were rushing around, constantly too busy to deal with things that needed to be done because you were chasing that payment off that customer. You had to get that job complete to get paid, to pay that bill, and then you were straight back on it again, doing it again and again and again. And it was just a vicious circle. Whereas now you've got time to sort things. You've got time to work on the business, to improve all the different aspects of your business, and to actually do a good, decent job for the couple of clients that you do in a month as well.
Because less is more when you get to this level, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know, you can't build a proper business if, like I said, if you're doing 200 mile an hour and you can't respond to emails properly, and you can't, you know, this is where like tradespeople again, it's really common that people try to get all the tradespeople that don't get a response. Oh yeah, I'm dead busy. And this is not disrespectful, but they're sometimes driving a banged up van, you know, not looking the part, not doing the right sort of jobs, trying to provide for a family and fucking struggling because they think they're successful because they're busy, you know. And it's a crime, this, you know, when you think about it. And this is where, you know, I'm not going to name names myself, but bigger companies with trade counters and stuff like that, and subcontract type big kitchen firms, they know this, you know, and it's abuse to some degree, in my opinion, because the money they're making on that kitchen is hideous. And this is where, when people who need that money, and then they take that lead into that trade counter or that business, and they just willingly go, yeah, thank you very much, I'll take the 4 or 5 grand profit. Here's 2, 3, 4, 500 quid credit on your account. It's almost like, that is an insult.
Yeah, it is. It's
And it pisses me off, to be fair, because I'm just like, well, you know, that's what we need to do. You know, like pulling people like yourself and all the other members that we've got now through away from that world. There's no going back, is there now?
No. Yeah.
You're never going to go back there in a million years, are you?
No, not a chance.
So obviously, you joined up with us. You started selling. You joined the academy, and then you've mentioned obviously the stuff that you've learned in the academy. How has it changed your life, like being in the academy? Would you say, like in terms of your business, your life? What's the real impact at home of this whole thing?
The real impact now is that my other half doesn't have to go to work. You know, she can stay at home and look after the kids. She helps out in the office, you know, a couple of hours here and there, but that's it. She doesn't need to go to work, and that's mega. You know, we're pretty much out of debt now because I had a lot of debt, which was due to the way my business operated, you know, or lack of business. So we're pretty much out the woods with that now. It's completely changed everything around. You know, like I say, I was close to going bankrupt at one point. And I got in that academy. I focused on what needed to be done. I put the effort in. I didn't, sit watching Netflix at night. I was in my office working on that academy till 2, 3 in the morning sometimes, because I was like, this has got to work. I've got to make this change to my life, because we're going to lose everything. And, I was sick of being dictated to by other companies. And I'm like, so getting a job for somebody else isn't an option for me, So yeah, it's completely changed my life. I've never looked back. It's put me in a safe position. I don't panic anymore. If I get a week or two with no surveys, no leads, great. It allows me to get in the office and get stuff done. Whereas previously to that, I'd be panicking, thinking, "Oh, there's nothing in the diary. I need to get some work." Because you'd be panicking, thinking, "Oh, I've got bills to pay." Now I know those leads are going to come. I know the surveys are going to come, and they do every single time. So it's lowered that stress level massively. It has a massive impact on your mental health as well. So it's not just your business and the home life. It's your stress levels, your mental health.
Do you remember having struggles with mental health before this, in terms of how you felt about the outlook on life and just constantly running around like a dick?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'd sit there sometimes and think, why do I do it? What is the point to everything? Because even at some points I thought to myself, maybe it's better to just go bankrupt and start again somewhere else, doing something else. But, it caused a lot of heartache with my family and the kids and stuff like that, missing out on stuff. And it was a struggle anyway. Yeah, it just wasn't an option. It had to work. And you put the effort in, you follow the procedures, it does work.
Yeah, no, it does work. And again, people listening may note that obviously we've built our own business with the same model a few times ourselves, so we know full well that it works. But yeah, it's just funny because when we're speaking to people now that are sort of thinking about coming in, you can really see that they're struggling, and I think some of them worry about the work that's needed to make it work. But look at you now. All right, you've pulled a few late nights. You've been tired, but your family and your missus and all the rest of it. You've manned up. You've done what needed to be done. You've stepped up to the plate. You haven't gone, "Oh, I'm tired," and made fucking excuses. You've really done it, and kudos to you for doing that. And look at the impact now it's having across your children, your family life, your own mental health, your business outlook. I'm assuming now that you're a lot more optimistic about the future.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We're booked up at the minute till end of September. We've got more quotes that I've just sent one out just before this. I've got another 4 that I'm working on. Yeah, there's no issue there. Things are looking good, and I'm looking forward. I've booked a holiday abroad, taking the whole family.
Brilliant.
Where
you going?
Not been abroad since before COVID, so we're going to Spain for a week. So yeah, really.
Well, again, you weren't doing that a year ago, were you?
No. Couldn't even afford to go camping for a week.
Well, you couldn't have had the time off, really, could you? When you're fitting other people's shit.
That's it. Yeah.
So you've got no debt, 10k a month, holidays abroad, missus has stopped working.
Yeah.
What else? Doing all right there.
I'm about to get a new van, but I'm just holding out for a little longer yet.
Yeah. And then obviously, what's the next plan now for you? What's the next year going to look like?
I want to get more fitters on board, because I'm still doing a few of the fits myself at the minute. So I need to get completely off the tools. Is one of my biggest things to do, and then that'll allow me to focus more on going to networking events, to other events and things, to just improve everything, bring in more leads, more traffic.
Yeah.
I want to get to about 4 or 5 a month. That's my target. If I can do 4 or 5 a month, then happy days.
Well, that'd be what, roughly 15 to 20k a month GP at 4 gross profit. So with a moderate overhead of 10, 12 grand, you'd still be paying yourself a decent salary.
Yeah.
And probably pulling in 100 grand a year.
Yeah.
On top.
Ideal.
So yeah, not a bad place to be, is it?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
And people don't accept sometimes that these numbers are possible, do they?
Yeah. No, it's the way, like you say, it's the way the industry has been for so long, and everybody's so fixated on chasing that money and got to get the job done, got to move on to the next one, that they don't stop for a minute and think and look at the bigger picture and think, actually, if you put all these things into place, it's dead simple. It's crazy how simple it is. It's not easy, but it's simple.
Yeah, that's it. It's not easy, but it's simple. And that money that these big sheds are making on that job that you're giving to them, you could be making,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
easily and relatively quickly. Because let's think about it. You are what? You're about 15 months in with us now.
Yeah, roughly.
So you're not even 18 months in, and all those things have been achieved. You've got debt free. Mrs. isn't working. You are in a much better place, making 10 to 15 grand a month, getting a new van, and that's all within sort of the first 18 months, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'm now at the point where I'm picking and choosing my jobs now. I'm not having to reduce my prices massively because I'm desperate for that work. There is no competition near me. Even the Howdens, Wren, all the big sheds, they're no competition to me. I'm winning. I've converted customers that were getting a Wren kitchen, and I've come in at more expensive than what they've been quoted from Wren, and they've still gone with me. And that's down to the protection we give them, the service we show them that we can deliver, and our reviews and everything all knitted together shows that they're more confident they can get the project done that they want with us than they can with anybody else. So it's almost like you get your confidence level gets right up, and it's almost like it's in the bag.
Yeah. Well, that's your confidence as well. That's your confidence showing there.
Definitely.
That you're getting good at and confident around your own brand and selling. And to just think, if you've done this in 18 months, what are you going to do in 2 or 3, 4 years?
Yeah, I'll be retired.
Exactly. Exciting, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't wait. Yeah.
Good.
It's
No, I'm
brilliant.
dead proud of you, mate. And so anyone that was thinking of joining the academy, what would you say to them?
Don't hesitate. Do it. Just do it. You've got to try and put a bit of time aside, bit of effort in to find the time to get things done. But they're not bad. It's not like you've got to sit there for 16 months with a pen and paper. It's quite practical, straightforward stuff, and the way it's all laid out makes it dead easy. You just follow the steps, do what it says.
Well, let's say that it would take you, I don't know, to learn how to fit kitchens properly, and I know some people will be offended if you even put a number on it, but let's say you can be competent within a couple of years.
Yeah.
Fitting kitchens properly, doing it intensely for a couple of years, you can get to a pretty good standard. I understand there's always going to be new things to learn, but bearing in mind it takes you a number of years to become really good at being a kitchen fitter, what time does it take to actually build a business in the academy? It's a lot less.
Yeah. I mean, if you put the effort in, you could do it in a couple of months. Easy.
I think so too. I mean, people say that, that's asking too much, but we have seen people do that. We have seen people under 6 months get to 1-2 jobs a month, making the 10 grand. And some people, it's taken over 12 months for them to even get their ass into gear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just different people, and that's just the way it is. Some people will come in hungry and want it more, and some people will just piss about more. And I think that, again, but we've proven time and time again now that, it is possible. And people like yourself are obviously, shining examples of how possible it is. And more to the point, it's sacrificing the can't be arsed and the laziness, and like you said, not stepping back to look at the bigger picture and being down that rabbit hole of fitting other people's kitchens and not accepting that something's now changed in the industry. Something has just changed, and it's only a small number of people that are doing it at the moment, but this is going to snowball. And more people are going to start clicking onto this and speaking to people like yourself and going, well, blah, blah, and all the rest of it. And in a few years' time, they'll either be with us or they'll be working for someone like you.
Yeah, definitely. I can see it. Yeah, and it's definitely going to happen, that.
That's what will happen, 100%. Listen, mate, it's been really good chatting to you. You're doing brilliantly. Keep it going.
Thank you.
And like I say, we'll see you at the next event, okay?
Yes, I will be there.
Right,
Cheers,
take
mate.
care of yourself. See you a bit.
Cheers. Bye, mate. Bye.